Patrick will spend the rest of his natural life in prison. He will never again walk free. Patrick will leave prison only in a coffin on God's time.
That's defense attorney Joe Spencer for Patrick Crusius, who killed 23 people and injured several others in the August 3rd Walmart mass shooting. Spencer acknowledging in court this morning that the only way his client will be leaving prison would be in a coffin. You heard him say that. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Estela Casa. Thanks for choosing 9 News Now. The gunman accepted a plea deal, sentenced to life in prison without parole. The long-delayed case nearing its end after nearly 6 years of legal limbo. Our crew has been in the courtroom all day long covering the proceedings, and we bring you the team coverage of today's trial. Let's start things off with KTSM 9 News reporter Tirza Ortiz. Tirza has been inside the courtroom all afternoon, where she joins us live now from the courthouse. Tirza.
Estela, today marked the beginning of the end of what victims, family members, and survivors have called a recurring nightmare. Today, the gunman sitting in court to give his guilty plea related to all charges in the 2019 Walmart mass shooting.
To the offense of capital murder as alleged in the indictment, do you wish to enter a plea of guilty or not guilty?
Guilty.
After nearly 6 years, mass shooter Patrick Crusius has been officially sentenced by the state of Texas for his hate-fueled massacre at an El Paso Walmart that claimed the lives of 23 people and injured 22 others on August 3rd, 2019.
Based on the evidence presented here today and on your pleas of guilty, I will accept your pleas and at this time find that the evidence does substantiate your guilt.
The Cielo Vista Walmart shooting is the most lethal mass murder against Hispanics in U.S. history. Crusius's defense attorney saying it was spurred by a combination of mental illness and political discourse. The shooter posting a manifesto online prior to the shooting that contained hateful anti-immigration rhetoric.
This explanation of his severe mental illness and toxic political environment does not in any way justify or excuse the horrific violence that Patrick committed. He bears responsibility for the choices he made.
There are other public figures and elected officials that espouse and promote this ideology, but my sincere hope is that for the rest of this proceeding, this afternoon and the next few days, and moving forward, that the focus can remain on the 23 lives that were taken from us far too soon.
The gunman will spend life in prison without parole, serving a life sentence for capital murder against multiple people, and 22 life terms for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. This punishment on top of the 90 consecutive life sentences he has already been sentenced to after being found guilty on a federal level.
He pleaded guilty, and he will face the consequences for the remainder of his life in the harshest conditions of confinement.
Now, as you begin the rest of your life locked away, remember this: your mission failed. You did not divide this city, you strengthened it.
District Attorney James Montoya said that the gunman will be serving his concurrent sentences at the Texas Department of Criminal Justice. And now, again, I would just like to remind you, this was only the first day out of what will most likely be 3 days in the courtroom where victims will be giving their impact statements, and we will be hearing from families. Live at the El Paso County Courthouse, Tirza Ortiz, KTSM 9 News, back to you.
Okay, Tirza, thank you. And for more perspective now, Patrick Crusius is considered the most lethal mass shooter to face justice in a U.S. courtroom. And it has been a long road in the search for justice to get to this point. On August 3rd, 2019, Patrick Crusius drove more than 600 miles from Allen, Texas to El Paso and opened fire at the Cielo Vista Walmart. Crusius was convicted of federal charges in 2023 and was sentenced to 90 consecutive life terms without the possibility of parole. But on the state level, under 14 different DA administrations, things stalled. Jaime Esparza, Ivan Rosales, and Bill Hicks all promised to seek the death penalty. But when current DA James Montoya took office this year, he chose a different route. Montoya told victims' families he would no longer pursue capital punishment, despite having campaigned on it. Former DA Ivan Rosales faced allegations of incompetence and misconduct, including claims her office failed to move cases forward. One of her associates was also accused of targeting a victim's family for not publicly supporting her. Rosales resigned in December 2022, and Governor Abbott appointed Bill Hicks to take over the office, but even under Hicks, the case faced new legal challenges. Crusius' defense team accused both Rosales and Hicks of misconduct. In late 2024, two separate judges ruled that the DA's office had altered court records and withheld evidence in other cases. Well, today was also a turning point for many families of the victims and survivors of the August 3rd shooting. Many read their victim impact statements addressing the gunman in front of a full courtroom. Our Diana Castillo is live now from outside that courtroom in downtown El Paso. And Diana, some family members shared their story for the first time as they faced the killer for the last time.
That's right, Estela. Now, the courtroom may be empty now, but earlier today it was full with raw emotion as one by one family members of the victims and survivors of the shooting took the stand addressing the shooter, even forgiving him, some forgiving him and others fighting back tears. Now, more than 40 victim impact statements are expected to be heard in court, many taking the stand today to face the gunman who killed 23 people and injured many others during the racially motivated attack at the Cielo Vista Walmart in 2019. Now, cameras are not allowed during this time. However, we do have access to audio of the statements. People who spoke today are Spanish speakers. Their statements translated to the defendant.
Yo, Mario Pérez, perdono al señor Patrick.
I, Mario Pérez, forgive Mr. Patrick,
Y lo dejo en las manos de Dios.
and I leave it all in the hands of God.
Nunca entenderé qué lo llevó a hacer esto, algo tan terrible.
I will never understand what led you to do this, such a terrible act. My children have lost their hero, their prince, their column, their support, and their father.
Now, victim impact statements do not have a time limit. Impact statements are expected to continue through Wednesday. Now, coming up at 6, we'll share more of their messages, not just to the shooter, but also to the community. In downtown El Paso, Diana Castillo, KTSM 9 News.
Mirza and Diana, thank you so much. And we will have more coverage throughout the day as we continue to cover the trial for the next few days in our later newscasts and on KTSM.com.